the ones I love. All the people that hate me, I don't even hate them. I just don't have no time for them. They can hate me from over there. I don't care. As long as they keep their hate over there, but if they bring it over here, I'm gonna send it back. It might be in a box, but it's going to be sent back. Return to sender. I don't want it over here. I'm a my people. I'm a popular loner. You know, I come out and go meet with my people, then I go back in my hole. I don't got time for that. Man, look, I ain't had time for it when I was a teenager, but the guys I used to run with, if somebody messed with one of them, well, you messing with all of them. You ain't gonna bully them, I know that, because I'm not gonna let you bully nobody over here. So you can take them bully tactics somewhere else, or we can go ahead and get it over with right now. That's up to you. It no matter to me, one way or the other. I want the smoke the same way you do. I want peace the same way you do. If you want the smoke, I want the smoke. If you want peace, I want peace. And we can do it however. That's how I was. I'm not gonna look for you, but I'm gonna bump into you.
Yeah, and
And
we
when
ain't
I
gonna
bump
push.
into you, you're gonna remember me.
Yeah, like I remember I used to tell like in the set, I used to tell people, hey, don't if I saw a dude pressing him and I say, oh yeah, he don't and the dude act like he don't want it, I say, I let him make it, cause he don't want it, let him make it. He's nigga was talking first, but now you press him and he oh man, now Hey, so we ain't never press nobody too hard that they want you don't want no trouble. But don't start no shit, it won't be no shit, right? You know what I'm saying?
I know
Yeah.
I'm bone crusher, baby. I ain't never scared. I
Yeah.
ain't never scared.
Hey, we about to get up out of here, man. Hey, we got 1,200 people in here, man. Raw Hayes don't do it for the money, but we got this cash app on there, man. If y'all want to show them some love, everybody send them $1. That'll be 1,200, man. That'll put them in the game so we can keep these. We got to keep Chief good so we can get these updates on the land, man. So because we're in a critical time now, we're going to a critical time. 2025, a lot of prophecies have been said to happen that year, like about the earthquake, a whole bunch of things. The switching of the government. There's a whole not bunch of stuff. So we need to stay live, stay alert for this coming up. 2030, Doc spoke about 2030, the end of the devil's rule, the complete end of his world. So we looking at the parasites being removed, whole bunch of stuff going on. So we need to stay updated. Shout out to everybody that's came in, man. Hit that like, hit that
And
subscribe button. What you got to say, Rod? You got to say you want to say?
parents, talk to your children and let them know that the National Guard not here for us to stay out them people way. Because we don't want them to get caught in something that they totally innocent, but they get treated like the enemy. If they do the martial law, just follow the curfew because there's going to be some dastardly deeds taking place under the cover of darkness. There's going to be a whole bunch of good men doing some real bad stuff to some truly wicked individuals. And they're not taking no prisoners and they're not asking no permission. It's not going to be pretty. Y'all need to know this now. Y'all need to sit them boys down, have a conversation with them. Wherever you at, make sure you're going to be where you're going to be at the curfew. You don't want to be transitioning during the curfew and get caught up with the wrong crowd. We don't want that to happen. This is about them judges, them lawyers, and some of them got private military of mercenaries that they've paid very well to not let these National Guards people take them in. You may have shootouts between different factions of private military forces and National Guard in your city, but I don't know which city it might be. It could be any one of them. They everywhere and they about to get cleaned up. These private militaries, they caught one in upstate New York a couple of years ago, and it was staffed with a whole bunch of Chinese orphans. And it was under the control of George Herbert Walker Bush through his CIA connection. And they blew it up. I posted about it when it was fresh, but they blew it up. If I run across the post in my memories or something. I reposted on Facebook, but they blew that damn military base up. They had something like 2,000 soldiers up there. So it can be gunfights in the streets, but it don't have to have nothing to do with us unless we go putting ourselves in other folks' business. Don't got nothing to do with us. Let them clean this mother up. Don't get caught in the crossfire. Don't be collateral damage, because there's something in the military during warfare called collateral damage. Just because you got switches, they got some switches for your switches. They got way more stuff to fight this war than we do in the hood.
Right.
And it's some niggas in the hood they coming to get too. Believe that. They've been doing a lot of dirt for a long time, and people know who they is. You know who them dirt dealers is in your local town that don't nobody like to talk about because they're scared they're going to come up missing.
Right.
They coming to get them. They know who they is. There ain't no hide. Ain't nowhere to run. Ain't nowhere to duck. Ain't nowhere to hide.
That's deep.
They coming to get them. I'm telling y'all now, they coming to get them. All the dirt dealers, these people, this military, with the assistance, the National Guard has been given the permission to utilize special forces from the U.S. military branches, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, to do this operation to get these MFs off the land. And they're not who you think. They're not going to be based on skin color.
Right.
Because they're going to look every color under the sun. Wherever people at, it's going to be somebody that look like that in the cleanup. But they dirt speak for itself. Most of us know who them dirty players is in our local town. They coming to get us. You thought because of the whispers that they was going untouchable, they probably didn't got a.
Go ahead.
Type Tom Mary in your thing and read what it say when I get. So Tom Mary means the land of Mary. Where is Tom Mary?
It's pronounced Mary, which is pronounced
It's Ty hyphen M-A-R-I.
Yeah.
Or M-E-R-I.
Like Tamaray.
It's starting to click. I hear your synapses making connections now, Elder.
Yep. Hey, look, that's Big Mama land. Hold up. Damn, why the hell ain't
Okay, now you gotta remember why we talking about Mary. The Latin definition for Mary is rebellious woman, but it was adapted from the Greek, Marie.
Yeah,
right?
Mary. Yeah.
And
right.
and they got it from Kemet when they called Egypt Tamiri. They didn't call it Egypt. They didn't call it Kim. They called it Tamiri.
The land of Mary. Nana's land.
Right. Now, if it's the land of Mary, where do Mary live at? On her land.
Go ahead, Rod. I'm trying to find it.
Right.
Yeah.
Mary, on her land, she lives in the most lavish of the palaces. Big Mama house.
Go ahead.
You always know Big Mama house because it has a picket fence in front of it. But in the ancient times, they was colossal pillars.
Go ahead.
Pull up the picture of the Temple of Dendera. You can't show it on there right now.
I gotta reset my computer to get it where the show because it won't even pull it up because I had to right before we went on, it started doing what it do, and I didn't get a chance to fix it.
All right, now remember,
holding down computer.
The Romans stole the sacerdotal seat, Big Mama's seat, and seated the Pope beneath Big Mama's seat. Right? Now, the land of Mary was called Ta Mary, but the home of Mary or the house of Mary
is also called the lighthouse.
Go ahead.
Why do they call it the
Pharaoh.
lighthouse? Why do they call it the lighthouse?
Because is it dealing with the ejaculation of the foul
No.
I know
At the
Pharaoh
top of the
means lighthouse.
right.
Yeah.
Pharaoh means lighthouse, but the pharaoh is not the man. When we talking about Hatshepsut being the man pharaoh, the
Go ahead.
pharaoh has never been the woman. If you look the etymology of pharaoh up in the Egyptian codex, you find out that it literally is a feminine word, and then they used it in ancient times in reference to the pharaoh's wife.
Go ahead. I'm gonna take
The
that up.
pharaoh's wife is the one who gives him his ability to rule by blood right.
Now I heard that. That part because that's why they got the statues with the woman standing holding her hands on the male like this, right? If you look at most of the statues before they came in for the Europeans,
you know the statue you see with the brother got a woman on each side of him.
Is that no, that's not the one with Osiris. That's because that's Osiris and Haru.
I think it's Ramses. He got two women.
Ramses the second, right?
Right. He got one on each side of him.
Yeah.
And the reason that he have one on each side, that's called uniting of the two kingdoms.
Okay, go ahead.
Remember, Egypt was split into Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. Right?
Yep, that's right.
There's two different kingdoms that was ruling simultaneously, and it was unified under, I think it was Namnar when he overthrew the Hyksos.
Okay.
No, Namnar is supposed to be the first pharaoh.
No, it was Agmos and Cogmos. They To's son. The Agmos, well, it was Cogmos went after the dude first, and then once Cogmos.
No, I'm not talking about the priest wars.
No, I'm
talking about the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. But when
okay, all right, yeah.
So once they unified
it was Antanankin that did that, wasn't it? Once he went down, knocking all the gods and stuff down. Was it Antanankin?
No, that was the priest wars.
Okay,
that was priest wars. That was the wars that was going on in the pharaoh's harem among high-ranking matriarchs that argued the dispute about
the gods,
whether the gods should be seen from the public or whether they should be concealed.
What was the pharaoh name? I know who you're talking about too. That learned out in Upper and Middle Egypt. Remember his name, bro. Shit. No.
Okay, so look, they once they unite them, it had to be what's called a sacred marriage. A sacred union is the only way he can unite two kingdoms. That means he had to bring a wife from both kingdoms under the same roof. And they have to be on board with it with him. So in other places, in the modern secret society terms, it's the marriage of the red house and the blue house.
Yeah, Dozer. It might have been Dozer. Imhotep's pharaoh.
I don't remember. I don't want to go over it into detail and to be the wrong ones. But anyway,
research on this.
Right. So the term pharaoh is actually properly translated as the woman of the house. She is the light of the house. Right. Because it's derived from the tribal practice of the mothers tending to the children and the father protecting the grounds and being a husband on the land. We think a husband means she just married a man and now it's her husband. Husband is an actual distinct title that carries a lot of responsibilities under the function.
Go ahead.
If a woman is married and they don't live on a farm, she don't got a husband. She got a corporate union now.
Go ahead.
She don't got no husband. She tricking herself because the government tricked both of them. The marriage license is a permission slip from the corporate government to merge two corporations under a common interest.
Facts.
Right? And notice what they call it, a marriage.
Go ahead.
Right? And the reference is the age of Mary. How old was Mary when she gave birth to the so-called Christ?
13, they say.
Right? So if you go back to just to the 50s, almost every state, the legal age of marriage was 13, but the legal age of sexual consent was always variable by state.
Go ahead.
Some states, the age of consent was 12, others it was 18. And all of the ages in the middle, right? Now remember, in Mexico, they have something called quinceañera. The quinceañera is the woman announcement by her family that she's mature enough and that she is trained well enough to become a bride. So now they present her and bring her out to the public so she can take on suitors to determine what family she's going to merge with. Now, in the other parts of America, in the English-speaking part, it was a sweet 16.
Go ahead.
Right? Which was for the same purpose.
Yeah.
And the girl got to pick whoever the hell she wanted.
Go ahead.
Right? And they normally taught her the one that can be the best husband is the one with the farm. The ones in the city didn't know how to get married.
Go ahead.
Those were your stags. Those were your bachelors sowing their royal oats among the harlots of the city. So that's why they ran us all out the country. So they can mix us all up and confuse us about the structure and the order of the natural life of the land.
Hey, Fourth Elder said that Nanar was the one that united Upper and Lower Egypt. Nanar, Menes. I think one of his name is Menes, right? Fourth Elder.
Namar is Namar's name.
Yeah, no, I think one of his names. I think Doc said one of his names was Menes too, or he called him Menes or something like that.
Well, some of them changed their name. Like his name probably was something else before he became the ruler. Then he changed his name.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the problem came in when you had people with different cultures imposing their culture against the will of the people that don't want their culture. Right. And this is how you had the conflict in Egypt. Right. So we go back to the uniting of the two cities, the Upper or Lower Egypt. And the reason why you see the man with two wives is because he's governing over two kingdoms, two bloodlines, two royal bloodlines. And he is the most qualified man to keep the balance between the three. A two-ball game. Right? And the women have to know which role they play in order to assist him in activating the birthright that they have through their mitochondria, because they the source of the wealth.
I remember a long time ago, you told me to look up the rules of a longhouse, and it just came back to me today. And they was talking about, I was reading about the clan mothers. And it was saying that the clan mother have power to pick the chiefs. They pick the chiefs from when they born, and then they also watch the little boys as they growing up to see who would be the best leader amongst them, and they pick that leader. And they got the power to make him to impeach the chief.
Yeah, the clan mothers can get together and say he's not doing a good job as a chief. We put too much on his shoulders, remove him from his position and take his duties from him and hand them to the people that's best. Under the matriarchy, the rule is the most qualified person to fulfill the function must perform the job until another qualified person comes along. Either you're going to train one up to replace you so you can retire, right? Or one of them, the matriarchs is going to give instructions. He going to train himself to be better than you are so you can retire. But you can't go nowhere You obligated to hold that post until your replacement in ability to carry on the function to the next level, or at the minimum to maintain the successes that you carry. Right? That's under the matriarchy. That's the rules.
Right.
Just because you got a PhD, you might still not be qualified for the position that you went to school for.
Right. That's damn sure right.
You got a bunch of educated fools out there.
Another thing, man, I got a question for you. I noticed that because Doc was teaching about this, that in religion, it's mostly stimulated towards the mitochondria in the mother, like as far as the shape of the buildings, with the mosque and the churches.
Well, it's a lot of sexual overtones to religious constructed buildings.
Right.
Like the minaret is a phallic symbol, but the dome of the temple is a mammary gland.
Go ahead.
All right, we talking Baphomet.
Yeah.
Balancing the masculine and the feminine to become the GOAT.
I remember also you broke down in DC how the layout is built like a woman, how that obelisk is coming up out of looks like a
that's supposed to symbolize. Okay, so what you're looking at is the obelisk is coming out of what's called the Vesica Pisces.
Okay, that's right. I've seen that.
The Vesica Pisces is also an ancient yoni symbol. Okay. Which is also the Christian fish symbol.
And it looked like a vajayjay too.
Yeah, that's the yoni.
Fish, yeah, the fish symbol. It's dealing with. So go back to what I was saying about the women's, Look,
that ain't right. I just smell like fish, sardines, tuna, but they got something going on down there that ain't right.
That's funny. That's funny as you say that. But okay, so yeah, so the whole DC really. So
Brother Love say his other name. Brother Love say his other name is Menez.
Yeah, Menez. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I heard Doc say before. Now, so it stands the reason that if they were laying all this architect based on the woman, and because I remember you telling me in order for them to set that DC up, they had to get the approval of the matriarch and the woman based on how they laid the whole layout.
Or usurper.
Huh?
Or usurper. Lie on her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's the sweetheart swindle.
Yeah.
Mary Big Mama poisoned her off and say she told you to sell the land.
Yeah, lying bastard.
We all know that's some BS because all of the chiefs say you ain't supposed to sell, we can't sell you the land, we don't own it.
Yeah, we don't own it. How can we go sell you something?
So they wrote paperwork that said they own it, that we was delusional and instituted the salvage right. Yeah. And the squatter's right is a byproduct